This video and all other videos on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The content of this video and all other videos on this channel are the opinions of the creator only and do not constitute legal, trading, investment, or financial advice of any kind. Investing carries a high level of risk and the majority of retail clients lose money. Do not invest any capital unless you understand the risks and you are prepared to lose it all. Alright, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel and it's finally Friday. To be honest, I think it's been quite an uneventful week. Obviously, the markets were closed on Monday for the American bank holiday, and we've really just been kind of sitting back and letting the market do what the market's going to do. So we have finally got some developments. I'm going to point to those at the end as always. I've got a few tabs today. Really, I don't think this is going to take very long at all. So without further ado, I kind of wanted to point at these first three tabs just to say, please be sure you tune in tomorrow for the weekend's deep dive, okay? Because Google searches for give car back are at all-time highs. Also, bankruptcy lawyer, okay, is skyrocketing on the Google search terms, okay? So again, this is kind of unsettling and it speaks to having created a have and a have-not economy. Also, this is insane, okay? In 5 days, the BLS is set to revise the US job numbers for the 12 months ending March 25. And according to Goldman Sachs, a downward revision of up to 950,000 jobs is coming. This will be the biggest downward revision since 2010. We're already in recession, okay? We are. And we're going to talk about this again in tomorrow's deep dive. Car finance making a scene in the background. Credit card defaults just hit 2008 levels as well, okay? And again, we're going to dive right into this tomorrow during the deep dive. So be sure you're subscribed with the notifications on, ready for that. Now, as for current events, today is really Judgment Day, okay? For MicroStrategy, we've been covering this a lot. This has been my line in the sand. Bitcoin catching a little pump here, perhaps either a half cycle low or a daily cycle low. We'll talk about that in a moment. But if this cannot provide some short-term relief and a bounce off of support for MicroStrategy, then nothing is going to, okay? Now, I still maintain in the best case scenario, we can just buy a bit of time here before ultimately doing this. And of course, we are positioned long as a hedge to the long side, just in case we're wrong, because if we are wrong about this being the ultimate high, okay, the best way to be wrong is to make money whilst doing it. So we're still positioned long, giving this market some space, okay, but I do think what's more likely is, like I said, a bit of this to come. If, however, Bitcoin's going to continue to bounce, which again, we'll talk about in a moment, and MicroStrategy is just going to break down, then there's really no hope left for this asset class whatsoever. But I do think we could possibly get at least some short-term relief here for a few days in the worst case scenario. Meanwhile, the Camel Crew continues to stay winning, okay? We've been seeing this kind of thing coming from a mile off. A bunch of people are tagging me in this. El Salvador's just bought a bunch of gold, probably because they know as well as everyone else does that the revow is coming. But more importantly than this, just as predicted, into this major cyclical top for both the weekly cycle and likely the 4-year cycle, or said another way, the half cycle high in the 8-year cycle for the precious metals. As predicted, as expected, as we knew would happen, we are now seeing people start to champion higher targets, move the goalposts, and even in the mainstream media now, we've got the likes of Goldman and JP Morgan saying 5k gold is probably coming. So isn't it fascinating how everyone sleeps on this market, and then all of a sudden into the final leg to the upside as we start to rapidly approach the weekly cycle high and, like I said, that 4-year cycle high, suddenly we start to move the goalpost and increase the upside targets. It seems to me like we're about to get some kind of cycle low. I think it's going to overrun this window slightly, but I'm okay with that. And if we can get any kind of clear and visible swing, then I think you'll see me back a trade here and move the stop up. The stop can pretty much come up any day now anyways. But for anyone that doesn't know, for a long, long time, people thought we were mental, okay? But now I think we're in that final blow off top moment. I think we're doing something like this. Is it going to go as high as this? I doubt it. I don't know, right? I have no idea how high it's going to go. Cycles predict time, not price. But I do know this whole move could be done in no time, okay? If this is going to play out to the tick, then this puts the top around the 23rd of October, which is really not a long time from here. It's like 4 to 6 weeks, right? And again, you best believe every man and his dog, especially once we get to this kind of 4,000 plus level, is going to flip extraordinarily bullish, okay? You're going to see all the LARPs come out and tell you they've been buying precious metals the whole way up, bro, and I can't believe you haven't got your exposure. You'll see these tweets as well, okay? In fact, tag me in these tweets when you see them. You will see as we get to this kind of neighborhood, people start to tweet things like, everyone's been sleeping on gold, okay? But those accounts won't have any receipts because they themselves will have been sleeping on gold. And the more vertical this thing goes, the more we should start to be 100% confident the sentiment's going to swing violently to one direction and we're going to take the contrarian side of that direction. So overall, okay, the Camel Crew stays winning. We know where those weekly cycles are due to top. The level 3 members know they're going to get notified in real time as we start to approach these take profit zones for the miners and all that kind of stuff. The individual stocks like Newmont, okay, are looking very fourth angly, aren't they? Okay, so, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to keep doing us. The stock market is showing unbelievable strength, to be completely honest with you. Where is the correction? Okay, it should be due any day now, but I mean, this is just relentless, isn't it? It's absolutely relentless. And notice how not many people are talking about how special this strength is for the stock market, right? This is extremely rare types of behavior from the stocks, extremely rare strength. This is only the second time I've seen strength like this in my entire career, okay? And I don't see anyone else kind of scratching their head in the way I am going, wait, what? Like, this is super rare. This is super unusual, right? No one else seems to actually care that this is extremely strong. This is extremely vertical. And the only other time I've seen this is out of the C19 lows, okay? This was the only time I've seen a violent rally as violent as what we've got at the hard right edge. But actually, the hard right edge is ahead of this in terms of aggressiveness, okay? And going all the way back here, you know, we just haven't never seen this. I've never seen this since the start of my career all the way back here. I've never seen this kind of aggression. So, been a very, very long time, right? Been a very long time, very rare, and for some reason, no one cares. Which is weird in and of itself, okay? But the focus really for this channel is to stay on this trend until the top and then dump the whole stack, so to speak. Not really a stack when it comes to stocks, but you get the point. The focus for gold is the exact same thing, right? Catch this final leg, mock and jeer at the latecomers and the people that start moving the goalpost right into the top, okay? Identify the sentiment when it has reached an extreme, and it is at the inflection points that we want to take the opposite side of the herd. So that's the goal there. Again, level 3 members, we're going to dump all of those. I think we've got 12 or 13 assets, haven't we, that are miners and metal related. So we're going to dump all of those there as we start to head for that 4-year cycle low. And then for Bitcoin, I thought we'd spend a little bit of time on Bitcoin here. Some people were asking me yesterday why I didn't include the indicator. I don't know. I forgot, if I'm being honest. And the other thing is, I try not to shill this thing too much, right? You either got it, you find value there, or you don't. I'm not trying to tell everyone, you know, you need to buy my stuff. I make jokes about it sometimes, but there was no reason for me not to include this, right? Those of you that had it knew there was an indicator picked the low yesterday. You knew they had mid levels of confluence. We've got the price action trading multiple candle closes above the 10-period moving average, okay? And today it looks like it's pushing off. So worst case scenario, this should push higher into a half cycle low if Bob counts correct and roll over, okay? And give us that daily cycle low, which would be about 60 days from this low back here, which would be sometime around the 2nd of October timeframe. And if my count is correct, then that's not going to happen. And we're going straight to Valhalla from here, okay? Straight up, new highs, happy days, and we'll stick with my current count. For the people asking, how do we really know? Well, I would say at this point, if this is a daily cycle low, we have absolutely no business trading below this low again, okay? So if we never trade below this low, no new lows are printed, then we can accept my count is correct. And if we now see new lower lows in the next couple of weeks, then we can absolutely say for sure Bob's count is correct. We're targeting that early October timeframe for the next low, and then we will see the weekly cycle low formed there. We'll get the push up, we'll set the new invalidations, and I'll walk you through this thing one day at a time as I always do, okay? But for now, it's pretty binary. If my count is correct, straight up to new highs, and if we roll over and print new lows, then Bob's count is correct. Also, to clear this up, because a few people were asking me this, people were saying on Bob's chart, he's targeting the 24th, so how do I come up with the 2nd of October? Okay, if I drag this out 60 days from this swing low here, okay, which is where Bob is measuring his count from, gives us a target of about the 2nd of October for the upcoming low if Bob's count is correct. The 24 on Bob's chart is not pointing at the 24th of September for the low, it is pointing to week 24, okay? Candle number 24 on the weekly time frame. So for those of you that are confused, hopefully that clears that up. Otherwise, it's a case of we're in position, we're long and strong, we know where the levels are, okay? And all we have to do now is let the candles be painted on the chart for a couple of weeks, as I've been saying. So far, so good, okay? If this count is correct, new highs. If this count rolls over, then we just adjust the count, go with Bob Lucas's count, and we're targeting a weekly cycle low early October before the final run to the top. If my count is correct, we're already in the final run to the top. Really, does it make much difference? I don't think so. Eyes on MicroStrategy, okay, if I take this off a log, you can see the trend line, okay? So far, perfect touch off support. It needs to push higher here, okay? Lose support and GG's, to be completely frank. You can see we're still positioned long, okay? And we'll stay long and strong because there's always a chance we are wrong. And if I'm going to be wrong here, I want to be wrong in the best way possible, which is to make money whilst I do it. But remember, we lose this trend line, okay, and it's over. It is done. And if you're still bullish after a trend line breakdown, then you don't know what you're doing, frankly. You're an amateur, okay? So I'm your boy Camel. Have a fantastic weekend. See you tomorrow for the weekend's deep dive. If you're a level 3 member, we'll do a big members only video for you guys tomorrow. And other than that, all the best from me. Take care. Cheers. Bye.
Camel Finance, he's the man to see. Rocking the markets with his contrarian spree. Trades like a pro, no fear, no shame.